Hi. So I'm going to be discussing all of our 7E Wellness skincare today. Sam here again, the lead esthetician and an educator here with 7E Wellness. So I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds. I'm waiting for everything to sync up, and it looks like we're good. Um, so I come to you today with a bare face. I'm going to do my nighttime skincare routine because we are not going out tonight. It is too humid and too gross here in New York where I live. So I'm going to talk you through all the products and what I do to keep my skin so glowy and nice, if I don't say so myself. So the first product that I will use, and I will use this twice a day, is my Mangosteen cleanser. So let me bring her up real close. Love, love, love. So this is the Mangosteen cleanser with prebiotic. Let me pump that out because it is a beautiful consistency. So we've got like a clear gel. Also, clock the nails. I have a clear gel here. It's got a little bit of a tint. That comes from all the antioxidants that are in it. But the thing I really like about it, I just added some water, is that it foams up really nicely and it gives you a really nice cushiony kind of soft foam. Put way too much on my hand. But I just washed my face with this, and you can see you get like a milky kind of foamy consistency. So it feels really nice on the skin. It's not super stripping and it smells really good. So a mangosteen, it's like a tropical scent. It's really nice. Highly recommend. So this cleanser has prebiotics. Prebiotics are basically compounds that feed the good bacteria on your skin. So if you're feeding the good bacteria on your skin, then bad bacteria don't get a chance to overgrow, which means it can help you to avoid things like acne, inflammation. This also has lactic acid. This has PHA. Both are exfoliating ingredients. So this is going to gently exfoliate the skin and help you to smooth it out. And it's not going to be super drying because lactic acid is also a hydrator. So the other way that I really like to use this is I'll actually apply this as a mask and I'll put it all over my skin and I will leave it there for a good 5 minutes. And if your skin is sensitive, maybe you'll do this for less time. You could leave it on for just a minute or two. But I will do that. And then you go and you wash your face normally, and your skin is going to be so smooth when you're finished. So highly recommend, not only as a cleanser, but also as an exfoliating mask. It's really nice for that. This is one of our new products. So we were working on formulating this all of last year. We've tested it. Beautiful packaging as well. So this is brown glass. We'll do our little ASMR. Love the packaging, keeps the product good. It's tinted glass and it's also a vacuum pump. So this is not going bad on you anytime soon. Love, love, love. After I do the cleanser, the skin is nice and clean and it's exfoliated. Love that. Oh, so sorry. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty. I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk about the cleanser again because we were not live on Instagram, but now we are. Hello, Instagram, and hello again to you on YouTube. Now we've got our stream running, and I'm going to jump back in. So I come to you today with a bare face. My name is Sam. I'm a licensed esthetician. I've got about 7 years of experience. I've worked in high-volume spas all around New York City, here where I live. So I have touched a lot of faces. I have done, with a conservative estimate, probably about 5,000 facials in my day. So I'm going to take you through the newest skincare releases here at 7E Wellness, and I'm going to take you through my skincare routine for nighttime. It is gross here in New York. It's super humid and it's a little muggy. So I'm not going to go out tonight. I'm doing all my skincare now, and then I'm going to go to sleep. I am just going to start out with my Mangosteen cleanser. Let me bring her closer. Have my mangosteen cleanser with prebiotics. So this is a gel cleanser. This is gonna produce like a really delicate kind of cushiony foam on the skin. So this is really nice if you have normal skin, oily skin. This can be nice also if you're a little bit acne prone. Prebiotics are going to help to reduce inflammation on the skin. They're going to help to feed the good bacteria so that then when the bad bacteria tries to overgrow on the skin, then it isn't able to. So then you're less prone to infection. This also has lactic acid and it has PHA. Both are exfoliating the skin, so it's going to help to smooth you out, leave the skin softer, and help with texture when you cleanse. Let me dispense her again. So it's a nice thick gel, which means that it's concentrated. This is going to last you a while. It's got that really pretty kind of like orangey tinge. I like when skincare products have an orangey tinge because a lot of antioxidants are that color. So it's nice to see that in there. Mangosteen is a source of really powerful antioxidants, and so it's great for anti-aging and for protecting the skin from environmental stress. So when we think about like pollution, free radical damage, those are things that antioxidants are going to protect you from, things that generally are destroying the skin every day. So you can see you get kind of like a milky lather on the hand. It feels really nice and cleansing, but it's not stripping. So, like I said, really good for normal skin, oily skin, acne skin, kind of anything in between. If you're super dry, you probably want to use a cream or an oil cleanser. I wouldn't go for a gel cleanser, but that would just be for our very, very dry people. Otherwise, I adore this mangosteen cleanser. Not only do I use it as a cleanser, I use it as an exfoliating mask. So you can take this and you can apply it all over your skin and you can leave it on for up to 5 minutes. So I'll do that a couple times a week. I get psoriasis, and so I get some really flaky areas on my skin. You can even see on my hand here on my knuckle, it's a little red. So those are a couple of spots where I'm having that flaking happen. I can use this and it will help me to just smooth out in here whenever I'm having a flare up. So highly recommend. This is a great product. It smells really nice and it's not super intense. So even if you want to use it as a mask, you want to exfoliate with it, then you can do that still, let's say like 1 or 2 times a week. If you have sensitive skin, I would start with less. This is kind of a pro tip that you can take with your other cleansers too. If you have an exfoliating cleanser that has lactic acid like this one does, try applying it for just a minute or two before you cleanse and let those acids really do their job before you rinse them off. If you have a nice cleanser like this, you want to let those ingredients really touch the skin. Sometimes we cleanse for like 15, 20 seconds. Sorry, you can hear the city noise. Sometimes we'll cleanse for like 15 or 20 seconds and then you end up not actually getting the benefits of the product. So I would keep that in mind. Highly recommend. So I have already cleansed my face, hence why I am here with bare skin. This will remove light makeup, but it's not going to take off waterproof makeup because it is like a gel water-based cleanser. The next thing that I love to do, and I'll use this twice daily, is I go in with my little replenish spritzer. So this is a hydrating essence. You can use this the same way that I'm about to. Cleanse your face when the skin is naked. Then you go in with your replenish. And I just like to generously mist that on. I like to get the neck too. If you're going to be going to bed, you can even spray a little bit on your chest. You can get the backs of your hands. And here's why I'm covering myself with it. This is basically a large amount of glycerin. So if you look, the texture is kind of viscous. It's a little bit thicker than water. And that's because there's so much glycerin in here. Glycerin is a humectant. So this is drawing moisture into the skin and it's keeping it there. So this is going to be really good for hydration. It's going to plump you up. It's going to make you glowy. I will apply this as my first layer after I cleanse. The other way that you can use this in your routine, you can use this after you do your makeup. And it's not a setting spray, so it's not going to make the makeup wear longer, but it's gonna get rid of any powderiness. So if you do your makeup and it's looking really powdery, or you have some texture showing up, some dryness or some flakes, this Replenish Spritzer is really helpful for just re-moisturizing that area. You can spray it on and it doesn't disturb your makeup. Um, Glycerin is very compatible with a lot of these sort of foundations and powders that we wear. And so this will kind of retexturize. So not a setting spray, but definitely great as a finishing spray to get that really nice dewiness back to the skin after you powder. And then, of course, we make it to use with microcurrent. So if you're going to do your MyoLift, then you should definitely have this on hand just for that same hydration, and also because this has zinc. So zinc is really good for the skin. Zinc is going to reduce inflammation, so it's good for acne, eczema, psoriasis. Zinc is also conductive, so it's conducting your microcurrent into the skin. I'm just going to take a quick look to see if anybody has written any questions. Does not look like it. No problem. So I will use this. I even have one of these that I throw in my bag and I just take it with me. This is something you can spray on your skin all the time. If you are on a plane or you're traveling, this is really great to just kind of rehydrate after you get so dried out. And you can see, even after I just sprayed a little bit on, the glow that it imparts to the skin is really nice. This is super lightweight too, so you don't have to worry about it being like greasy or too heavy. So the next thing that I like to go in with is I go in with my Eye Lift Serum. So this is new. This has only been out for a few months. You can see I have already almost used it up. Really, really have enjoyed this. The Eye Lift Serum uses peptides. It also uses some really exciting ingredients that basically they get rid of bags under the eyes by smoothing out that contour and smoothing out that fat pad. So if you have under eye bags, or if like me, you get kind of a tear trough, like a line that goes diagonally here, this Eye Lift Serum is really nice for plumping that out. It's a really nice thick texture too. So if you have dryness around the eyes, or you're worried about fine lines and wrinkles or crow's feet, this is going to be great for that. So let me dispense. I'll just do a little bit. I like to do just a pea-sized amount. Take that on both my ring fingers and clock the nails. And then I will just tap this around the periphery of that under eye. It's kind of like putting on mascara. I feel like every time I do this, I have to make a face. But if you also have darkness around the eyes, one nice thing that you can do to kind of massage that area, keep using your ring fingers, and you're going to tap very lightly, and you're going to make your way outwards. And that can help to clear out some of that liquid, that's fluid that stagnates under the skin and causes darkness under the eyes. I also like to take the little bit left over on my fingertips and I'll just put it up under my eyebrow. So you don't have to put it on the eyelid. The eyelids actually don't have pores, so you don't need to put skincare directly on the eyelid. But it's great to put it all around, just like I did. Those peptides that are in here are going to protect the collagen in your skin, and they're going to prevent it from breaking down. They're also going to prevent the muscles from overworking, so they're going to help prevent you from getting lines from repetitive motion. So usually around the eye, that's going to look like crow's feet. This will help you to avoid that. Love this product. This also has green coffee extract, so it's got like a kind of a really interesting herbal smell. That's a source of caffeine, so it's going to brighten the under eye, and it's also going to bring in a lot of great circulation. Somebody said, can you do a demo using the EGF mask with the MyoLift Mini? I'm not sure which to run it on. Okay. I can show that, actually. I will go right into that after I just talk about one or two more things. So the other product that I like to put on a nightly basis is the anti-aging peptide serum. After this, I'm going to go into the EGF mask, though, and I'll show that to you. So I love to use this all over my skin as my active serum at night. So this is the anti-aging peptide serum. This has copper peptides and it also has polypeptides. So copper peptides are going to rebuild the skin from the inside out. And the way that they, ooh, I just squirted that on my keyboard. The way that they do that is by stimulating the skin to make new collagen. So the skin makes new collagen, which means that it is repairing itself, it's repairing wrinkles. And then copper peptides also get rid of the damaged collagen that is often the cause of those wrinkles showing up on the surface of the skin. So let me take this. I usually, for my face, will take 2 to 3 pumps. I like to be a little generous with my application. This is also super hydrating, and so it's nice to get that hyaluronic acid and really moisturize. So I'm going to take 2 pumps. Another cool thing about this serum, excuse me. Another cool thing about this serum is that because it has copper peptides in it, when you use it, you'll see that it has a slight blue color, and that blue tinge comes from the copper. So another really cool thing, let me see if I can capture that here. So it's hard to see on camera, but it's just ever so slightly tinted blue. It's in the bottle, you could see it a little bit more. And now I'm not going to put this one on right now because I just put on the anti-aging peptide serum. But in the mornings, I'll go in and I'll put on my Revital C serum. So this is a vitamin C serum, which is why I like to wear it in the morning. Vitamin C, when you wear it with sunscreen, helps to boost your protection from UV rays. So really good to make sure that you're not getting damage on a daily basis. This is also a nice, light, breathable serum. You can see really, really breathable, but moisturizing. This has antioxidants other than vitamin C. It also has white tea extract. It has coenzyme Q10. It has aloe leaf extract. So really soothing, moisturizing, protective to the skin. This true form of vitamin C that's in here, ascorbic acid, is also really good at brightening the skin. This is like the gold standard when you look at studies that they've done about collagen production and breaking up pigmentation in the skin. Vitamin C has a lot of research behind it. It's one of the ones that has been the most documented. So, great product to have on your shelf. I highly recommend using one of these in your routine. I will not usually apply these two at the same time, though. I'll do daytime and then I'll do this one at night. And why? Because vitamin C is ascorbic acid, and then the copper peptide is copper, which is a metal. So when you put an acid and a metal together, they actually don't mix. So I like to use one in the morning and one at night. Just something to keep in mind if you have both, which I recommend. This is a no-brainer. You have your daytime, you have your nighttime, and you know that your skin is covered, protected, and getting that really potent treatment. So if you'll just give me a moment, I'm going to grab my device. What do I have here? Sorry, I have so many on hand. Here we go. So here's my mini. If I'm going to be using the EGF sheet mask, and actually I think I have one right here. If you'll just give me a moment. Sorry about that. Sorry, I don't have one on hand. But what I can do is I can show you the process. So you would take your mini, and when you apply your sheet mask, you have your 2 little round electrodes. So those are going to go on the skin. Okay, let me just go grab that. I think I have it just next door. And we're back. Sorry about that. Space is at a premium here in New York City. So I would take my EGF mask, which I have here. Let me open her up. You have your mask. So you'll take this and you'll apply it all over the skin. This is a beautiful sheet mask. So this has EGF, which is epidermal growth factor. Epidermal growth factor is going to repair and heal the skin. It's another way to stimulate collagen production. It's non-irritating, so it's really good if you're sensitive and you're worried about anti-aging. You're going to take your MyoLift Mini. You're going to attach your lead wire, which I think I have right here. So you attach your lead wire, and you're going to take the 2 prongs of the lead wire and you're going to plug them into those round electrodes that come with it, the little purple circular electrodes. Oh, I wish I had them on hand here. But you're going to take those purple electrodes and you're going to apply one of them in the center of the forehead. So you're going to put it right here. You're going to take the second electrode and you're going to apply it on the collarbone down here, just off to one side. So you'll have the electrodes in these 2 spots, and then you'll run your treatment. When you're running your treatment, you're going to do first erase. You're going to have it on erase for 10 minutes, and you can do level 1, or if you're comfortable, you can do level 2. If it feels prickly or uncomfortable, you can always drop back down. So you do 10 minutes on erase, and then you're going to do 10 minutes on educate after that. So usually I'll just let that run until the mask dries up, and you will see that happen. Microcurrent is also helping to penetrate product into the skin, and it's helping you to get a better result out of all those nice ingredients that we put in there. So the other thing you can do when you have a sheet mask on that I want to show here real quick is you can actually take your device. So I have the MyoLift QT here as well, and you can use the sheet mask for your conductivity. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to just turn on my device, and you see that light is blue. So that tells me that it is looking to pair with the app. We're not pairing with the app. We don't have it open. So now you'll see that the light turned green. That tells me that it started app-free mode. And it's blinking, which is our conductivity meter. So it's not conducting right now. You'll see it buzzes when I touch it to the skin, and that's how I know that now it's conducting. So I'm going to start, and I can just slide that across the surface of the skin. If you have the mini, you can also do this with the 2 probes, and you would do all of your normal movements, but instead of having gel on the skin, you have a sheet mask. Somebody said, can I use a silicone mask over it to keep it moist? You could certainly try that. You may not get conductivity through the silicone. So that would be my one concern. If you're doing it with the sticky electrodes, then you can certainly put it on top, as long as the electrodes are also underneath the silicone. But that would be nice, yeah, and you could really let that customer lay there and get the full benefits, or you could do that for yourself if you have really dry skin. So I'm just sweeping this across the forehead. When we do app-free mode, it starts off by doing stretch. If you have the mini, that's erase. So I'm using it on my forehead. I'm using it in here for my 11s. So I can just slide across. I get a line right here that bothers me. And so I like to focus here. It's going to be on stretch for 5 minutes, and then it's going to switch to lift, which on the mini is educate. And it will buzz when it does that. So I'm just doing my treatment. This has absolutely helped me to minimize this 11 line that I'm getting. I squint at everything, and I really should wear my glasses more, and I don't. So that wrinkle is starting to become very prominent for me, which is, bothers me a little bit. And I'm not somebody who really wants to do injectables. So this is my alternative way of keeping that area nice and smooth. The other thing that I love to do is I'll go in next to the eyes and I'll prevent and work on crow's feet. Now, even if you don't have crow's feet yet, this is an area that moves all day long. So if you're not careful, everyone gets them eventually. You probably will see them start to form with age. So why not do a little bit of work to just keep them at bay? So I can just slide right along that orbital bone and I could smooth out that whole area. I can go a little bit back. And the other thing is, even if you don't have crow's feet necessarily, maybe you're young, maybe that's just not an area of concern for you, you can still benefit from releasing this tension. So when this area, kind of in the temple and around the eye, when that area gets really tight, it pulls down on the rest of the face. So then you can end up pulling down the brow. It can pull down on the corner of the eye, and it can make you look a lot more droopy and a lot more tired. So it can give a kind of like downturned, kind of darkened look to the eye area, um, which maybe you're going for that, but not super flattering for someone like me, at least. So then I'll go to the other side and I'll do the same thing. So this is particularly good for my skin because I mentioned earlier, I have psoriasis. So even though my skin naturally is pretty oily, I still get a lot of flakiness and a lot of dry patches because of that psoriasis. This is an oil-free and non-comedogenic way that I can give my skin rich moisture and not worry about clogging up my pores, not worry about using something that's too heavy for my skin, and I can still get that nourishment. Um, those of you who have skin like mine, where you're a little bit oily but also pretty sensitive, you may find that a lot of dry skin products are not for you because they're too oily or too heavy. A sheet mask is a great way to work around that and still get that hydration into the skin. The other thing that I'll do is I'll take this and I'll work around the mouth. So you can literally circle the whole mouth, and it's just going to help to release tension. So this is another circular muscle. It wants to purse the lips and create lines that go all along the lip line here. And I'm just going to reverse direction. And so we're helping to smooth that out. This is also helping to increase blood flow to the lips, which is great if you're looking to plump them up. Plumping up the lips with microcurrent is way better than plumping up the lips using a lip plumper. And the reason why is because microcurrent is not irritating, whereas lip plumpers, they usually use an irritant. So like cayenne pepper or mint, and those irritants are what causes the lips to swell and get bigger. Long term, that's going to break down your collagen. And so this is a much better way. This is going to build up collagen. You might have heard my device just buzzed. So I'm going to go in now that it's on lift, and I'm just going to pick up a few little strategic areas of the face. This runs for 10 minutes. I may not use that full 10 minutes. If you're like that and you want to just kind of do a quicker treatment, you put this down, and once it notices that you're not using it, it will turn itself off. So after 2 minutes idle time, it automatically shuts off, and then you don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to go in now and pick up my eyebrows. I love to get a lift in here, and you'll see the impact of that. This is on the low setting for me. So even at that lower wave intensity, because this is at 175, I'm still going to get a really nice lift out of it. And the same with the stretch that I just did. So we released all the muscles underneath that pulled down. And now we're activating the eyebrow and we're giving it the ability to lift itself back up now that the surrounding muscles are not pulling on it so hard. So I'll just lift that up and then I'll hold it there for a few seconds and then I'll repeat. Basically, it's like we're lifting up the muscle, we're holding it at that elevated position, and the microcurrent is saying, "Okay, now stay there." And so then it stays at that lifted position. The more that you do this, the better your muscles are going to remember this command. And so they're going to stay up longer. Your lift is going to become more permanent. This is a cumulative treatment. And so that really means that the more you do it, that's when you see the magic happen. And that's when you see the results really become more dramatic. Although I will say, after one treatment, usually I see it um, on myself and also working on clients over the years. I think generally you get a really nice impact. Even just doing one, you'll see some of that lift. So let me go to the other brow. And you'll also notice I like to do a little wiggle when I go in here and I lift the brow. Areas like in that brow that get really tight, the wiggle helps me to release that muscle and get a better lift. Just give that a try. Next time you're doing your treatments, give a little wiggle into that underside of the brow bone when you're lifting, and you'll see that it helps you to release it and get it picked up a little more. This feels so nice on my skin. So let me tell you a little bit of the story behind this sheet mask. This is the EGF sheet mask. 70 Wellness, we sourced this from one of the best skincare companies in Korea. We really wanted to have that technology of a Korean style sheet mask, not only because they're super trendy, but also because they're great. Ingredients like EGF, but also ingredients that come out of traditional medicine. So this has ginseng in it, for example, which is really, really good for the skin. And it's not used in a lot of Western products, even though there's a lot of really exciting research behind it. And people really have sworn by it for hundreds or even thousands of years, not only for skin, but also for the purpose of making medicine. So we source this from one of the finest skincare companies in Korea. We work with them directly to get these masks and to make them available. We've tested them extensively with our product, and we just found that they are such a match made in heaven. The result that you get from the two, the microcurrent pushing these ingredients into the skin, the EGF activating your fibroblasts to make collagen, and also the microcurrent doing that same job while it's also activating the muscles. So, really synergistic combination where the whole is worth more than the sum of the parts. The other spot that I always like to lift up is I'll go into the cheek here and I'll just scoop that entire apple of the cheek. And you can see it's even pulling up a little here on the lip. And it's because I want to lift that central part of the face. And I'm just going to hold it there. Now, this is a spot where I probably would want to treat it on a higher intensity just because these muscles are really thick. You have much more meat in the central part of your face. And so, usually, unless you're super sensitive, you can get away with a little more. For this, I also will sometimes hold the mask just so I'm not sliding it around too much. You can walk across the face, so I'm kind of tracing along the cheekbone here and I'm doing my lifting. And then the other thing I like to do, we like to lift upwards. We also like to lift diagonally. So on the face, you have three muscles that run diagonally that really hold you up. If you can strengthen them, you can get a really nice facelift out of it. So the first one on the bottom goes from the corner of the mouth pretty much to like in front of the earlobe. That's your risorius. So I'm going to run diagonally and kind of hold and scoop that outwards. And you can even see in this nasolabial area how that gets opened up. So if you have nasolabial folds, This is a great way that you can treat them. So I'm just going to repeat that a couple more times. Love that. So I'm also going to trace now along my zygomaticus, which is the muscle that runs pretty much from the corner of the mouth up along the cheekbone. So we can just go straight up there. I like to kind of slide and then hold. And you may see the mask has been on my face for less than 15 minutes and it's already starting to dry up on me. Normally, when I do a sheet mask, it takes longer, but I notice when I do the microcurrent, it soaks into the skin faster. And so you get that product penetration. You can really see it happening in real time. So then you can also trace the zygomaticus minor. That goes from pretty much in this fold up to the temple. So then I can hold here. And you may see little flashes of light while you're doing your treatment. That's totally normal. So I'm actually seeing them right now because I'm close to my eye. Microcurrent, because it is using an electrical current that's just like the one in your body naturally, your nerve endings, like your optic nerve, can pick up on it. And that's why you see those little flashes. So totally safe, totally normal. It's part of the treatment for a lot of people. So even with the mask on, I feel like I can see a little bit of a lift in here compared to the other side. Even though I look kind of like Hannibal Lecter right now with this on. But if you wanted to be more detail oriented, you could go in and you could work on the jawline too. You could kind of skirt along here and you could define that out. You can also use this on the neck if you have issues with tightness there and you want to work on either tightening up your neck or even getting rid of tech neck. And getting rid of those kind of horizontal bands that people get. There's a lot that you can do because that's in the muscle, and microcurrent works on the muscle. So now I'm just going to do a few touches on the other side. Sometimes I get carried away and I forget that I have to make myself symmetrical at the end. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to scoop that cheekbone a few times. I'm just holding the mask in place. As it starts to dry up, it's going to want to kind of peel off the skin more. This is a really nice way to do your treatment if you're traveling. Um, I really like the conductor gel because the ingredients are beautiful. It's really hydrating. But you do kind of want to wipe it off when you're done. So let's say you're in a car, you're on a plane or something. You don't have to wipe off the serum that's in a sheet mask. So you could put this on, you can do your treatment like I am, and then you don't have to wipe anything off the skin. You can just let it soak in and you can get on with your business. And when you don't have access to running water because you're traveling, that's probably the easiest way to get your self-care in. So I'm going to come back to these diagonals that I did, the risorius, the zygomaticus, and then the zygomaticus minor. We're going to start down here with the risorius, and I'm going to do that same kind of pull, that facelift movement. And then I'm going to come in, and I'm going to do the same thing on the zygomaticus. Now I'm just doing a few movements here because I know the timer is probably going to run out on me soon. Normally, when you're not talking as much as I am, it's a little easier to get through this quickly. Somebody asked, can you mist the sheet mask to reactivate? Absolutely, you can. If you're just trying to get done with your treatment, you can certainly use the replenish spritzer. You could even use distilled water. Um, but of course, if it's not serum, it's just water you're adding, you are going to end up diluting it a little bit. Yeah, when you're doing microcurrent, water is your best friend. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Oh, and there's my beep. So I'm glad I did the other side. I had just enough time to even out. Hydration is your best friend with microcurrent. And the other thing that I want to announce for those of you that are watching, this weekend we're kicking off a flash sale. So stay tuned. I think it is starting tonight. They're going to announce it via email, but all products and accessories are going to be 25% off. That's a really good deal. We don't usually do 25% on things. So definitely check that out. You'll want to go to our website, 7ewellness.com. So it's the number 7ewellness. If you have any questions, you want to reach out to me, get your hands on some more videos or some more tutorials, send us an email at info, I-N-F-O, also at 7ewellness.com. So info at 7ewellness.com. If you go to our website, we also have a toll-free number if you want to call, and then we can chat on the phone. So I hope this helped. Hope this was interesting. I'm just going to hold up my products one last time, our little cast of characters. So I started with the Mangosteen Cleanser with probiotic. We exfoliated and we prepped our skin with this. After our skin was clean and smooth, we went in with our Replenish Spritzer. We used that as our first layer of hydration and to get some zinc on the skin. Once we did that, we went in with our peptide serum. So we had our anti-aging peptide serum all over the skin. I also applied the eye lift serum around my eyes. Then we went in with our sheet mask. We put that right over top, and then we used our microcurrent and we pushed it all into the skin. So we got our lifting treatment. We got all our products deeper into the skin so they can work better. And then if it were the morning and I was just going to go out after this, I would probably put on some vitamin C from the Revital C serum. And I would also put on some SPF. We don't currently have an SPF, so just use the one that you like. And then you can either be out the door or you can be to bed. Yeah, somebody said they're in a very dry climate. Yeah. You may notice that the sheet mask dries out really easily if there's no moisture in the air. But all the more reason to give that hydration to your skin. It can be so rough, so rough on the skin. Chronically dehydrated and dry skin is going to age more quickly. So we want to stay on top of our hydration. If you can do a sheet mask treatment like this, I would say once or twice a week for maintenance. I personally do it that way, and I recommend it for anyone who struggles with dryness. Nothing beats the glow. So let's take this off. I'm actually going to hold on to this and I'm going to apply it on the backs of my hands and I'm going to apply it on my chest, all of the remaining serum that's in that little sachet that it comes in. But even if I rub this into the skin for a second, the skin is super hydrated. You can see that really nice natural dewiness, that glow. I also feel a little bit contoured because I was getting a little puffy in here. I use steroids for my psoriasis, which gives you kind of puffy face. And that definitely made me feel a little better about it. So I hope you enjoyed following along with this treatment. We'll definitely be doing more lives in the future. Let me take a quick look at our schedule. If you're wondering about the next one, we are going to be including them in our email blasts. So you can sign up for our newsletter also on our website. Not only will you get a discount from doing that, a coupon that you can use in the future, but you can also get these heads up reminders so that you can join our lives. So the next one that I'll be doing is on the 8th. I believe that's Tuesday of next week. We'll do it at 5 p.m. And I'm going to be demoing our new skincare kit from Dr. Madare. Dr. Madare is a prominent and successful dermatologist who has treated patients and formulated products all across Europe and really made an amazing name for herself. So we're going to be featuring some of her products alongside our devices. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the 8th, or maybe we'll see you on our website for the flash sale this weekend. But either way, I hope you have a great weekend and that you continue to take care of your skin.